What's up guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to win every single solo game with these simple easy tricks. So let's get right into it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like these tip and trick videos, and let's get right into it. So one thing I want to quickly get out of the way, if you are a beginner, this is not a strategy where you're going to get a lot of kills. If you use this, you're going to get a lot of wins, but they're going to be very passive wins. You're not going to be pushing people, and typically you're going to be just rotating circle and camping for the majority of the win. You're only going to have to kill like the last few people in order to win. Obviously, you have to have at least some kills. And if you are a moderate player, then I would not recommend this because it doesn't really help you get better at the game because you're not pushing anyone. You're just playing zone. So if you want to get better at the game and get more kills, then don't use this. But if you just want to farm a bunch of easy wins, then I would recommend this. So what we're going to be doing in this strategy is really just playing zone. We're going to be landing in a specific area, using a helicopter to rotate, and always stay on the edge of the zone, rotating away from players yet in the zone. So jumping right into this strategy, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to land this certain location every single time. You're going to want to land this shadow henchman house. There's two reasons because of this. Number one, you're playing passive. You're trying to not attract any attention, not get any kills until you absolutely have to. So we're going to be landing the shadow henchman house because not only does it have a helicopter, no one can push you from behind because the ocean is to your back. So therefore, people will only be attacking you from head on, giving you that advantage to knowing where these players are going to come from. So this place has pretty decent loot. What you're going to want to do is kill all the henchmen, use the henchmen to open the chest, and you're going to get the helicopter and you're going to want to rotate out there. What you're going to do after that is, if you have zone, you're going to want to rotate to these broken houses nearby because these houses not only have a lot of loot, but they're going to have a lot of mats. And once you loot all these houses, you're just going to want to continue rotating on the edge of the zone. Make sure your back is always to the ocean or somewhere somebody can't push you. So that way, when you're in your helicopter, the only people that will be shooting at you, if they do, are the people from head on. So that way you would have that advantage of knowing where they are. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to rotate around the edge of the circle, farming as many mats. You could feel free to get out of your helicopter when you feel safe and get all the mats you need. Now, typically you will sometimes see people on the edge of the zone. It's completely up to you if you want to push them. Typically I push them because I get quite bored playing so passive. But if you're not comfortable with pushing people but yet you still want those kills, what you're going to want to do is, if you see someone on their own, just completely ignore them. But if you see someone in the middle of the fight, you're going to want to position yourself with the helicopter on the high ground, and as dirty as this sounds, you're going to want a third party. So if you're going to play passive like this, the way to go is to third party, because you're just going to let all the other players do the work, and all you have to do is get the final shots in, and it's easy. So for beginners, this is a good, easy way to get kills, but it's not going to help you improve just because you're not actually fighting yourself. So what you're going to want to do is farm mats around the edge of the zone and third party people. Once you feel like you have comfortable loot from killing people and a bunch of mats from farming, you're going to want to rotate around the zone, because this should be like second or third zone by now. The majority of people in this game this season, like 50 or so people die within like the first 4 to 5 minutes of the game. I'm not sure if this is because there's a majority bots in the game or whatever, but past seasons like this, it was never like this. So the strategy is completely different. So the majority of people are going to be dead by the first zone. So you're going to want to rotate around the edge of the zone, and if you can, always position your helicopter in a place of high ground in a corner. You're going to want to play corners. Never go to the center of the zone, because the center of the zone is going to attract a bunch of people to you. People are going to be seeing you from all angles, and what you're going to want to do is build up a tower on the edge of the zone. Once you're on the edge of the zone, you could just tag people and tag people and tag people with all the ammo you've been looting up. You never really want to push out of your box to get kills, and if someone does try to kill you, you're going to have to play aggro. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to attack them. And this is typically when you're going to want to use the shotgun, box up, be low ground if you have to. If you're high ground, you have the chance of getting shot down. And if you're not comfortable with building, always play low ground. It frustrates the good players because they don't want to know what to do because you're constantly camping low ground. And you have to have really good accuracy with this, because since you have low ground, you have to really be a box warrior and just hold down the fort. So once you do that, you should be in like the third or fourth final zone, because the majority of these people in this games die really quickly. So what you're going to want to do is build up, and you're going to want to build up constantly in the corner of the zone. because this is final circle, so it's really small. There'll be like 4 or 5 people left, and you want them to basically funnel into each other, and you want them to fight each other while you're in the corner just getting like these little shots and tagging them. Typically you could pick up 1 or 2 third-party kills just by sitting in your tower tagging people for the final shot. This is very cheap, but it does typically work. And once you're down to 1v1 and everyone has killed and done all the work for you, you're gonna have to kill them. I know this strategy is about camping and let other people doing the work for you, but eventually you're gonna have to get your hands dirty and you're gonna have to kill the final guy. Now, typically by this point you'll have like 2 or 3 third-party kills, and you could just take all their loot. You could take all their hard-earned loot, because typically you're going to be shooting people that are very aggressive. So if you could pick up RPG, that's huge. What you're going to want to do in the final zone is camp high ground and burn through all the person's mats using RPGs, SMGs, whatever you have that could burn people's mats. And since you burned all their mats and you have high ground, they don't really have a choice. So all you have to do is send RPGs down their way, and they're really vulnerable when they don't have mats and you have RPG. So, using these principles, and if you apply them correctly, you could get a ton of wins. I don't recommend this, as I said, if you're a beginner player, because it doesn't help you get better. But if you're just trying to farm super easy wins, it's a good way to do it. It is quite boring, because like I'd say a good 15 minutes of the match, you're just going around the zone, farming mats and getting loot. But if you want to get wins, this is the easiest way to do it. Perhaps not the most fun way to do it, but it is super easy. And I even won a game on my first try using this strategy. Anyways guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you'd like to see more tips and tricks videos like this, make sure to comment and subscribe. But if you'd like to see more gameplay videos, make sure to comment and let me know.